I don't know if you can hear me, but my name is Willie James Henderson Jr. Uh, I'm making this video to discuss the death of my wife. I plan to start a YouTube channel. I'll be having my own podcast, discussing the criminal acts and all the corruption that goes on here in the state of Louisiana when it comes to law enforcement, district attorneys, the way the hospitals and medical system handles people that blatantly break the law. Rather than bring them to justice, they participate in hiding and covering up certain situations because of financial gain. But I just don't understand how can a person be laying in the dirt because of someone else's decision to take this person out because they just don't like them. But yet this is your job to help this person and assist them, and you choose to put your hands in your pockets. But I will be making more of this video to have the paperwork because I just want somebody to at least look at what I'm looking at, hear what I've heard, and I just want another opinion, like what is the deal? But that's all for right now. I'll get the files out and all the paperwork, and we'll go through it and discuss the date of her death. Her name was Alice Christina Henderson. Kearns was her maiden name. And it's hard for me to believe that she's been dead a year. you know, and since her death, I've always known hate. But since her death, I've experienced so much hate. Just for loving Alice. And after 28 years, I'm the first one to say, no, it wasn't a picnic. No, it wasn't. Married life for us was very, very, very hard because it was so one-sided. But I dealt with it. So for all the naysayers that try to rush my little podcast with your little negative input and your so much hate and dislike for me, don't even bother. Because it ain't for you. This podcast is not for you. If I have a choice, I'd rather for you not to even look at anything on it. Just stay away. Because you are not what this podcast stands for. You're negative. And you people know who I'm talking to. I don't want to hear from your comments. I don't want to no uploaded videos from you. I don't want no photos from you. I don't want nothing. Just stay off my podcast. Keep your comments to yourself. Because this is serious business. Something has to be done about the state of Louisiana. And I know people wonder, well, why is this man sitting in this house with his mask on his face? Because I want y'all to know that I am for masks. You need to wear one whenever you can. See, my baby was sick, and I still protected her almost a whole year, and she didn't get it. So it can be done. But back to my issue, I just can't believe it's been almost a year and my wife is dead. Because of a paramedic, a racist ass paramedic, Rodney freaking Schamberger, and William Bruletti. So he stood there like a little dumbass and didn't do nothing. That's just as guilty. You know right from wrong. And you just going along with it. Nurses and doctors, just like St. Francis always got their ass on the TV like you're doing so much. You're not doing nothing. You're putting on the rules. This whole state is linked to Rodney Schamberger through his investment company, Schamberger Investments. When I say I found everybody involved with my wife in any way that day, I did what I said. But it just came out that so many, even the district attorney is caught up in this. 2 hospitals, a funeral home, ambulance company, sheriff's department, police department. You know, forensic pathologists. Well, there would be a crime lab, the Arkansas Crime Lab. And we all know who Dr. Peretti is. And a lot of people here already know who Dr. Dennis M. Sullivan is. And Allison Brown, you're not getting away. You're not getting away. No, Miss Brown, you are not getting away. You know, it's not about the money for me. It's about right and wrong. You know, I wouldn't be sitting here and still wouldn't be sore about it if these people would have came in, did their job, transported out to the hospital, and then she died. But you can't tell me I'm sitting here watching this man lean against my door frame for almost the visit was 124 minutes. And out of that 124 minutes, I say 100 of those minutes, he had his ass leaned on my door frame with his hands in his pockets. This is the lead paramedic. You don't have not any equipment on your person while entering my home to assist my wife. Then you walk up actually with your hands in your pocket. They never left. To help with the stretcher for that little bit. The body slam her to the stretcher. Just little shit like that is where his hands popped out his pocket for a minute. And as far as his report, man, that's a bunch of bogus ass shit. So he just write what he want to write. And it's just filed in the records. Nobody won't sign off on it or anything. Not even the doctor that you delivered her to will sign your report. Not any of your superiors. And Stacey Albritton, now she just straight filed. Friday Ellis, he ain't no better. He is not any better. They all are crooked. They all connected to Schamberger Investments. Then this guy got this business running here in this state for 12 years on a revoked license. I'm going to show you all of this paperwork. You know, this is just not something I'm saying. I want the world to see fact. And I just want to see, why couldn't something be done to help Alice? 10 medications, 46 years old? And you didn't find any of that in her toxicology report. And she took medicine the morning of her death. Really? Really, Albritton? Really, Friday? And that's what you, this is your response, Stephen, to not enough evidence. Really? You people arrest people here just on hearsay. Hearsay. And I bring you rock hard proof and you won't, but I found out why you won't do anything. Because you know, just as well as I do, that Frank Peretti is a fraud. He's a fraud and a charlatan. Just runs around and helps you guys bend the law and throw people in prison for wrongful crimes that just you won't done over with. And see, for her case to come out, that just means plain and simple, because I got caught him hands down. That just means you really couldn't trust any of his other cases then, could you? That would be a whole lot of work for your office. Everything that man touches by right, will have to be reviewed. Well, we're going to get into all of that. And I know why not one lawyer here. And people say, well, why didn't you get a lawyer? We're going to go through the list of lawyers that I've contacted, talked to, emailed. And it's not that that she don't have a case. My response to them, from them is, look, this is too big for us. This is too big for us. Using words like meritorious and, look, man, we're going to get into all of that. You know, see, I know Louisiana thought they was going to get away with it. They thought I was going to just go away. But I tried to explain to these people, see, it's not about a money value when it comes to Alice for me. Because I took care of Alice, okay, the best that I could. And I worked hard. And anybody that know me and has worked with me know I am one of the hardest working people you will ever have the privilege of working next to. I'm going to make you shine and I'm going to outwork you. Just like I said, man, we're going to get into all of that. Any move these people make, any wrongdoing that they up to, I'm going to be putting it out there. I'm going to be putting it out there. Albritton, I'm putting all your emails on my show. I can't believe some of the responses you gave me. Can you believe the mayor actually told me in an email days after Alice was murdered by this guy that there is nothing the West Monroe Police Department can do. This is after I done went and reported it to them, and they laughed at me, my son, and my daughter inside the police department. When I just like but around the corner, you know, you could tell they were laughing at us. But anyways, her response was, so I figured, well, I know who, I'm on your boss right next door. I'm going to contact your boss and tell them you won't comply, and you actually laughed at me. Send her an email, because, you know, you just can't see the mayor. little ass town, but she way too busy to see anybody. Sent her an email. Was her city attorney, and they sent me an email saying the West Monroe Police Department doesn't handle felonies. I have the email from her. Her or her office don't handle those type of felonies. The police department is supposed to handle any kind of crime. Talking about you have to see the sheriff's department. This was not no parish issue to begin with. This happened inside the city. Though the parish patrols the outskirts, or they frequent the hospital because their little office, the annex is right up the way. But this was a city issue. And they don't handle felonies, but I sit here every day and watch the West Monroe Police Department arrest people for violent crimes, and I gotta say, I'm gonna get all the paperwork out later. I'm gonna try to upload this to YouTube or wherever it's gotta go, and I hope you guys tune in because it's gonna be a long ride and a long story. And St. Francis just, I mean, that place ain't what people. Then some kind of overhaul needs to happen here in Louisiana. But for right now, that's gonna be it. These is my wife's car keys. We're gonna even talk about the DMV. I had to go to the DMV for the last 2 days to get my driving privileges straight. Because just out the blue, just sheriff just posted up everywhere, close to where I'm staying. So yesterday, I went out and got me some insurance on the car, cleared my license, so now I can drive around without them harassing me once all this hit the air, because I know they're going to be, picking at me, but I'm ready. And I'm going to air this up today, and I hope people will tune in. And remember, people, until we get it under control, don't breathe it in. See, me personally, I think we ought to put some little ear things on our ears too, because see, they want to talk about, well, you got to go back to the way your parents taught you. Okay, my parents always taught me eye, ears, nose, and throat was connected together. So I think we should have some kind of whole head thing on, but we'll see how this works out. But it'll be good.